Good morning. We are going to create another YouTube channel with the intention of conveying a message to English speaking community as well as to the international community. What is happening in Sri Lanka? Our name of the channel is Aragale or Agitation. This is the most well-known, famous, most used word in the history of this country very recently. We gained independence in 1948 after a 450 years occupation of foreign forces. There were no bloodshed, there were no hard struggles, there were agitations during the British rule also, the last chapter of the British rule. I am going to tell you, since then we followed the Westminster model and multi-party system. After establishing a government in 1948, every 5 years' time we held elections in Sri Lanka. We understood that though mainly predominantly we are Sinhala Buddhist, they are Sinhala speaking people. Therefore, we feel that according to the Buddhist norms, cultural values, we are being governed. This is the message of our governors and our rulers. Whatever the governments we set up, we understood day by day, year by year, we are going from catastrophe to catastrophe. The main reason is corruption, inefficiency, mismanagement. In 1956, S.W.R.D. Bandaranaike, Oxford educated scholar, set up a government. That was an alliance. He introduced Sinhala-only policy in 1956. What had been happening? Overnight, they declared that Sinhala as official language. Till then, we had been teaching in English medium. Though Sinhala-only policy was introduced, it was with the intention of winning the heart of Sinhala Buddhists mainly that he introduced this system. He sent his children to Oxford and Cambridge schools. Our children had to study in Sinhala medium schools. As a result of that, when we are coming to the 21st century, our stand of English is very weak. We understand that very difficult to find qualified teachers. The majority of the teachers are not in a position to speak in English. This has become a problem. Although democratic institutions are functioning, number of times there were interruptions because certain political parties pursue a policy of communal violence. They were racist. Because of these policies, a lot of disruptions took place, and some Western countries imposed sanctions on Sri Lanka. Now, the main thing is that every government promised to create a very righteous form of government. They want to provide jobs to each and every person. Usually, annually, 120,000 people join the job market. We can provide jobs only for 100,000 people. Then we feel that other 20,000 people do not have a source of income. In order to change this policy, they said that we will give midday meal, free of charge books for school going children. We give a pay hike for working class. We will start a special program to give English knowledge to working class as well as the school going children. They can give cascade of promises on the platform, but it is very difficult to deliver them. It had not been happening. We know that predominantly we are a Buddhist country. Majority of the Buddhists are pursuing racist policies. As long as we are not following the democratic norms and customs, we will not be able to form a stable government which can attract the foreign investment. Because of the unemployment issue, acute shortage of foods and other essential items, 1971, there was an insurrection. This insurrection was crushed ruthlessly by the former President, former Prime Minister Sirma Bandaranaike's government. They say that this is a farmers, workers, and the Reverend monks government. This is a Vedamahatya's government, they say. But actually, this is a capitalist class government. They have all facilities. People just have a small income from their livelihood. Very difficult to eke out the existence. The problems were aggravating day by day. Few years ago, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, after completing 10 years period, former President Mahinda Rajapaksa had to relinquish his position. He had to vacate his position according to our constitution. He cannot appear, he cannot sit for another election. He cannot appear for another election. That therefore paving the way for another member from his family. Former Defense Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa got elected to the parliament. From there, he became the Prime Minister. He became the President of the country with a thumping majority. But what had happened? Country was going from catastrophe to catastrophe. It was turning from bad to worse. There were dollar shortages. We could not import essential items such as fuel, gas, medicine, and food. Finally, without a leadership, people got to the streets. There were violent demonstrations. But remember, what did they say? They said one thing: Gota, go home, Gota, go home. We ask, those who have matured people ask always. These are childish statements. Gota can go home, Sirma Bandaranaike can go home, Jayajagala can go home. They went home. Problems were not sorted out. There is no solution. Gota went home. Then we did not get elected as a president through the parliament majority, overwhelming majority. Mr. Ranjith Singh got elected as the president. What had been happening? They became a scapegoat. What had been happening? He crushed the agitation. Number of agitators were taken into custody. Some released on bail. Whatever it is. Now what is happening is, we feel that some of those leaders joined the government. Still, long stretching queues are there at the petrol stations. That's a food stage. Escalating cost of living is very high. Cost of living is going up by leaps and bounds day by day. But there is no solution. We are already in discussions. We have heated arguments in the parliament. Whatever happens, everybody wants to solve this problem, but there is no solution in sight. Every government, there are almost 30,000 degree holders on the road. Every government say, we will give suitable man, we will appoint suitable man to the suitable place. It did not happen. Actually, deserving people were rejected, and unmeritorious people got higher positions in the government. This is the thing that had been happening in this country. However, they were promising. However, they are making pledges. This is not changing. Now we feel, what is the first step in the right direction? That is, first step is, we must have a secular form of government, because there should not be any unwanted interferences. Now, in Sri Lanka, there are 38,000 reverend monks, Buddhist monks in this country. We feel that they are also divided into parts. Though they always ask our Sri Lankans to unite under one umbrella. Only through union, if you are united, then no one can challenge you. You can make this country a prosperous country. But They themselves also not united. Putting that aside, we are going to tell them that they impose certain conditions. We are not allowed to do anything in this country. The same situation existed in other countries. In Europe, certain period was there under Pope's domination. Today there is no such situation. No religion is allowed to interfere in the government affairs, governing policies in those countries. In China, we know at the same time they got the independence in 1947 under Mao Zedong. Today they are the most developed country in the world. How could they do this? They removed the religion completely. There is a secular form of government. There you understand that they could get out of poverty 800 million people through their communist policies. There is no religious influence or any other influence there. They are working hard like bees. They have been setting an example. You just see the Korea. Korea also same. They became a very prosperous country. How that actually, except Singapore, we are the most prosperous country at the time of gaining independence. But what had happened? Because of our corrupt political leaders, politicians, everything went to the dog, as normal way if we are speaking. Ordinary people say so. Why? There was corruption, there was inefficiency, there was malpractices everywhere. Now you see how these appointments are made, how these promotions are made, how these transfers are made. All three political pushes. During the Bandaranaike's government time, all appointments were made through cheat systems. And some women have to offer sexual bribes. This is the way how our country was being governed in the past. It is still going on.